Alright guys, what is up? Welcome to another video and welcome to Spicy Burrito, and today we will be talking about UFC, MMA, what it takes to train, what commitments you have to make, how much patience it takes, and yeah, that's going to be today's video. Alright, right here with me, as he's grabbing food out of the fridge right now, is Jeffrey Charles Benson, Jr.
Hey everybody, I'm just getting the liquids down because we need an emergency milk just in case it's too hot. And we have water in case we can handle it, but it might be hard. The seltzer water is going to actually burn. We should just use this if it burns, and then the milk as a last resort. And then you could have the water with your dinner or something after the thing. I don't know.
Alright.
Which one are we going to try first? Tapatio? Okay, this is, I don't know the hot level of it, but it says hot. This one's medium, this one's fire, and then this one is the actual hot ones.
Alright.
Kai's gonna try.
For the first time, we are going to try Tapatio.
Just put it on like a little, on the end so you could have a bite of it, and so you could still use more salsas for it. And then you just need one bite, because we're gonna try the different ones.
Alright.
And then let me ask you a question. What is your favorite part about martial arts?
The fact that it's mentally, it kind of focuses your mental health and whatever it is you're doing. I like that it's sort of a sport that like not everybody knows about. Like if you're familiar with like Taekwondo or karate or any of that type of stuff, I mean, you'd pretty much be set and know what MMA is. So yeah. Question.
Is that the side with the salsa? Salsa?
I think this. I can't.
Well, that one for sure has it.
Oh, I think this one.
Okay. Do you have a question for me?
Now, when did you start training for MMA?
MMA or martial arts?
Both.
I started training martial arts when I was in second grade, and then my mom took me out after a month, probably because it was too expensive. She said I karate chop my little brother, and then it was all done, but they don't even teach you a karate chop, you know. Like, so, and then I was bullied. My elementary school, junior high, high school, and then I decided to do martial arts at 12 years old at Taekwondo, and then I did that, and then in 2005 I was in Alabama watching this new show. It was The Ultimate Fighter. It came out in 2005, and I was like, whoa, that's awesome, I'm gonna do that one day. And then 3 years later I had my first fight, and I just trained for 3 years and then just went at it. So. How was the hot sauce, guy?
So far, so good. Haven't burnt my mouth yet.
Are you ready to try the big one? Okay. Let me try to think of a good question.
Next one should be on mental health. I'm guessing, since this is part of our channel.
Okay. How do you think having someone to hang out with, like, and vice versa, me with you, would be beneficial to both of our mental health?
I'd definitely say how long you've known the person based on their values, but also what their presence signifies in their lives, basically primarily where they stand. And and that's what it, basically takes to have your mental health, and then take both. A lot of time by yourself isn't always good. Really having that support system is what's going to help you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah. Just hanging out with, like, because I do like to stay home a lot and be by myself, but to get out of the apartment and just be able to hang out with someone, and like just being able to hang out with you or anyone, it like totally like, it like just gets you out of like that funk, like you're just not bottled. You gotta get out of the house or apartment sometimes, right?
You gotta sort of get out of your safe zone.
Do you have a mental health question for me?
So how did you keep your patience while working at the sober living home? What did it take? Which part of you really knew that mental health was going to be your super strength?
Ooh. I knew just being in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I went to like 5 different, mental health PHP and IOPs, and so I was able to learn a lot about mental health and how to and then go to therapy, which is very important. I used to make fun of therapy, like, oh, like when you hear the word shrink, it has like a negative connotation, or it's like almost like has like a stigma, I guess, maybe. And so I just never was really a fan of therapy until I knew I really needed to change my life around, and like nothing was working. So I gave it a try because I kind of had to anyway to be in the program. And then that like really changed everything, like just my outlook on life, my perspective. Like you can just change your perspective in like in a bad situation, and it could totally turn it around. And like I have an example of it. I want to grab the knife.
All of them.
Oh, I got it. Okay, got it.
All right.
So we were driving to like, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, scorch.
Okay, this is on the real hot one.
Oh. All right.
Are you ready?
All right, on the second one too, probably.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. My answer is going to be way too long. I'll just try to think of the next question. Is it hot?
Mm-mm.
No? Maybe we got to give it a second to catch up to your taste buds.
Okay, next question is relationships, because I know we're going to be discussing that a lot on our new podcast.
Okay. What? Yeah. What's the hardest part about dating in this generation, like in this like very like era?
I really think one reason is the digital age, and the other one is really how the people are and how isolated our world is with electronics nowadays. Online dating is, not a very useful way, in my opinion, to meet anybody. But it's the person's choice, but also like physical interaction versus digital. I really do think the hardest part about dating is the digital aspect and relationships where you're just talking to someone on Discord. It's just the biggest waste of time in the world. I wouldn't recommend anybody do that to anyone. So
why do you think so many people do online dating?
I don't know. This younger generation doesn't want to go out. They isolate a lot.
That's what I think.
I just think people are way too into their comfort zone in order to really, man up or woman up, in order to level up their knowledge and skills in their partners. I definitely would recommend, if you are going to have a long-lasting relationship, do it with a partner that is going to actually be faithful.
Yeah, faithful and like like they have to add some kind of value to the relationship, right? They can't just like I don't know, be negative all the time, or like no, you want to like uplift each other, like that one saying, like you water me, I water you, you water me, we both grow together, like, and that's how it should be. Like you gotta be there for your person, like when they're not having a good day and like their energy's like a little off, and like uplift them, and then hopefully like they would do the same for you, and then you're both like you know, picking each other up, and you don't like that's not your like job and role, but you should like want to do that anyway. You know, if you notice someone that could use a little cheer, just be more positive, and yeah, watch your tone with people and your body language, and do things with like a happy heart and a smile, like be genuine, like genuinely want to do things that are beneficial for yourself and the relationship. So
What about taking advice from friends?
Depends if you're a girl or a guy.
If you're a female, first from the females, then the male.
If you're I'm gonna reverse it. If you're a guy, I'd say the guys are more than women. Kind of like they're actually trying to look out for your best interest. But women, I would say, don't really take advice from women if you're a woman, because no, take advice from it, but like with a grain of salt, because usually like it's like your single friend that like is like jealous in a way, or like misery loves company, or like I don't know, but it always seems like they're not giving the best advice, and
There is an example of that.
yeah, and then there's a lot of failed relationships, or like that like about to meet their demise type of thing, because
Yep.
like they're just you go.
Now, I actually have an example of that. When my girlfriend and I first got together, our her biggest influence was her best friend. There's one of them I know. I'm not gonna say her name on here. Let's just call her R Sweetness. She is notorious for bashing her best friend's partners. I think what we do need to learn, relationship wise, is how to help each other as a whole and how it all works out. Yeah. Next question I do want to touch on is communication, and especially how important it is to be there. I think another one is presence in a person's life. Now let's touch on that subject.
What do you mean by presence? Like
Being there for somebody.
yeah. Well, you should that should be like a given, you know, like you shouldn't like naturally want to do that, like be there for people, but it's not always like the way. It's not always like that. But that's why we're here, to try to promote like more positive behavior and like
Make an impact. Yeah.
It's so hard to like find somebody that's like actually likes you for who you are, and like not how much money you have and things like that.
Yeah. And another thing I want to touch on is addiction, because different breeds, self-improvement, addiction is one of the subjects.
You can tell them.
Another thing I want to touch on is addiction. It could be all types of addiction, from porn to drinking to smoking to
Gambling, chocolate,
vaping, or eating. Here's how I quit a lot of the addictions I used to have, is you gotta have that someone there, whether it's your girlfriend, best friend of 20 years, or anyone who is going to be there for you during that journey. I think it's very important to just have your circle around. It's better to have like 4 to 14 good friends instead of millions of shitty friends, I'd say.
Yeah. Even if you have millions of seemingly good friends. It's you have so many. It's hard to like really tell, like who that person actually is, because like you don't really spend that much time with them because you have so many of them, the friends, you know. So it's hard to like. I don't know. I just have real ones. Like, I only have good people around me at all times. Um, People with similar interests, similar goals, like people who do like martial arts, boxing, combat sports, people who skateboard, people that uh, just enjoy the physical outlets that we have. And
Yeah. And now we are on to
fire.
Taco Bell fire sauce. I've been wanting to do this.
That's what I use. That's my go-to.
Waiting and
for my
waiting
burrito.
and waiting.
This has a good taste to it.
I can handle like more of that than I can like Tapatio. Shockingly.
No, Tapatio is hotter. That's why.
Really?
Yeah. But that one tastes better.
All right, Jeff, your turn.
I put more hot ones on mine. Well, I guess I for the show I might as well, right?
Yeah. All right.
What category should we talk about next?
Next thing we should touch on is companionships for apartments. Getting how jobs and AIs are taking over this day and age.
You know what they always say like AI is gonna take over, but I just can't picture it, and I don't like. How is it gonna? Like, are there gonna be like robots walking around, or like, why? If we know this ahead of time, why are we making robots to do that? Or like, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
There's definitely one story I know of is like, you know, in Denny's, and there I think it was I don't know if it was a Korean restaurant or something else. I saw a robot, which is a kiosk looking thing. Definitely a kiosk looking thing. Going around the tables. And at first I was really, really shocked. My mom showed it to me on Facebook like a couple of years back. And when I figured out they were real, it didn't actually give me a nightmare. In fact, I was very, 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 very shocked. And how quick AI could solve problems, especially for if you're like in things like customer service, drive-throughs, or like technical design. I mean, one day, like you even could see like metahumans doing all of this weird. You could even see like metahumans doing all this weird crap. I mean, like you could get an Android anywhere, like off a robotics site, off of Amazon, off of this, off of that, and maybe AI chatbots are even going to take over therapy. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because humans definitely will one up.
Well, that AI Grok is already doing. It's like it already has like the therapist mode, and it's like spot on. Like it's super. I wouldn't even need a therapist anymore. I could just talk to that. So I think it's gonna come, whatever, I don't know, a lot sooner than later. But I have no idea. I try not to pay attention to that kind of stuff. But if it's like super crucial, and maybe I should be paying attention to it. I don't know.
Yeah, because if you think about like the plot of iRobot would be a good example to describe like this next one. And this next one is very, very interesting, is having a smart home or a mobile virtual presence device. And Zoom meetings, those are about to come on. As a whole, they are really, really useful. Has its ups and it has its downs. I'm working from home, That's another thing. Is like, you can have someone there, but it doesn't really capture the amount of, you don't really have it, you don't capture the amount of things that these robots and all these digital computers could do.
Well, the UFC, the first UFC of the year is on tonight. So we're going to catch that. But yeah, that was our first episode of Hot Ones. We finally did it.
I was gonna say a hot burrito because we can't.
Our first, oh yeah, it's copyright. I didn't say that. That was our first episode of.
I would say.
What is our thing? We just wanted to do to see what it was like to do our own, like similar, exactly the same. Similar.
The something with like mental tolerance to spice.
Yeah.
Or, which I would definitely say, let's name the show 20 burning questions. So like, you ask people like while their mouth is on fire.
Yeah. This was just like a trial run because we don't have questions written out. We don't even have the name of the podcast. We just thought it would be fun to do, and now we have a good idea of how to improve for the next one. And yeah, thank you for watching our little
podcast. This is just the pilot, guys. There are more to come.
pilot. Yeah, it is a pilot.
This is just the demo, guys. Hopefully you guys will come watching more. Anyway, shout out to Sean Evans. We look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Same with you, Joe Rogan. We want you guys to please see, shout out to Fight Foundation for making this. And shout out to Fight Foundation, Jay All Day, Sifu Peter, and Cherry for making all this possible with the MMA stuff and mental health. That was a good video, guys. I recommend you like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.
Peace.